I mean, the last thing I wanted to do when I finished working at the moment is to look at, oh, what software might be nice. I've been going home, sleeping, eating chocolate, and watching TV. That's
And being on the radio and being in the newspaper as well, you really do lead a busy life.
Well, I do. Well, in actual fact, for regular readers and listeners will notice that I actually didn't do the newspaper last week. There was no computer page last week, and there was no radio last week. And that was purely because for once, I did not have the time to do it. It was as simple as that. There was no disrespect to Patty people or anything like that. But the workload was so huge last week that I didn't get around to doing it. And I was in bed on a Thursday night when Patty people goes to press, and I suddenly woke up at 11:30 thinking, I haven't done the computer page. Right? It's been like that. It's just been absolutely crazy.
Okay. Step away from software for a moment. The situation with the internet around Thailand and Padia in particular, has any improvements there on the internet's availability?
You mean on paper or in reality? On paper, and I have mentioned this in the newspaper column before. On paper, it looks great now because you can get 8 MIP connections, 12 MIP connections, 60 MIP connections. Doesn't give a hoot, right? If you're accessing servers inside of Thailand, then that's important because that's the speed you get inside Thailand. As soon as you go outside of Thailand and if you're the international gateway, if you did a bounce, say, to the UK and back, you don't get a speed of anything like, say, 8 MIP or 16 MIP. You get 1.2, 1.4, 1.5. You're lucky to get 2. Right? So all this hype about this high-speed internet, really, it's a waste of money because for people like us that are always accessing sites outside of Thailand, right? Then it's a waste of money. 2 MIP or 4 MIP is enough for because we don't get any more than that when we go outside anyway.
And I heard the term 3G being bandied around in there.
Not for the first time.
No. Could you explain what Gs are? This 2G, 3G for the people that don't understand.
It's just generations. So there's first generation, which now is a very slow way of connecting to the internet, right? So first generation was like the old dial-up. Second generation is ADSL. Third generation is when it started to go wireless with 2.5 generation actually was GPRS Edge. 3G is when you're having wireless, high-speed or wireless internet connections, right? And it's just not here yet. There are some test sites around, the one in Chonburi, one in Chiang Mai. Bangkok's about to go live. But the Deputy Prime Minister is saying that Thailand should not rush into 3G for various reasons. The Prime Minister obviously is saying we should rush into 3G because we need it for industry and business. So there's obviously some sort of discussion going on there. But if Thailand isn't careful, then it doesn't want 3G. You should forget 3G, go to 4G because Hong Kong are already putting in 4G. So Thailand really needs to really get its act together with this because it's damaging not just individuals, but it's damaging industry here as well. And
this increase in the number G, the 2.5G, 3G, so basically what we're talking about is getting a larger amount of data down in a given time. Each time there's a lift, there's more capability. But we're here talking about 3G telephones. Now, we can't speak faster than we used to. So as far as the operation of the phone is concerned, is it going to make a lot of difference?
3G telephone is one that you can connect to the internet with. Okay. Right, so it's just the same as 3G on your computer. And one of the biggest growing software application areas is applications for mobile phones. Right, so it's using, you now get quite big screens on the mobile phones. It's using those for browsing the internet, for watching streaming video. I mean, if you're in the UK now, right, you can sign to the BBC, and in London and other areas that have good 3G connections in the UK, you can actually watch the BBC live on your mobile phone. Right, so that's what it's all about. And that involves transmitting a lot of data quickly, right, and that's what it's all about. 3G is getting more information onto your PC, onto your mobile phone, your iPod, whatever it happens to be.
And if we were operating a computer outside of the main areas of cable telephone, then of course if we had a dongle on 3G, that too would mean that we would have much faster access to our internet. So.
Well, that's right. At the moment, particularly outside of the main built-up areas in Thailand, then you still don't have hard line connections to the internet. You've got to rely on dongles, as indeed we had to look at your small dongle earlier, didn't we? Right, because Brian, you
explain that.
Right. Explain about your dongle, and then right, okay. But Brian actually has a dongle, which is a little black thing this big that you plug into your PC, and it allows you to connect to the internet anywhere in Thailand, in fact, anywhere in the world, in fact. And it's not a particularly high-speed connection, but it works, and it works no matter where you are. Now, that has 3G connection, so when 3G comes into Thailand, then it will be a high-speed connection, right? So, the ability to be able to connect into remote locations will be great for individuals and businesses, and also places like schools and colleges that are in the remote areas. It's got a great knock-on effect.
That's right. I certainly have used this in a number of places while I was travelling in Thailand and way up in the north. I didn't find a place it wouldn't work. You assured me it was everywhere, and I sort of said, but you're absolutely right. It did work, and it was very quick. And the difference between it and the so-called broadband that I have here is it was pretty steady. It didn't keep crashing or coming up and down like my TOT does here.
You're absolutely right. GPRS Edge actually is far more stable than ADSL, and that's the truth. It shouldn't be, but that's the truth at the moment.
Tell us, for the people that don't know you, a little bit more about Liberty Computers. How many staff do you have, and where are you located?
Well, we've been around Thailand now for over 10 years as a company. I took the initial company over back in 2003. I was in 2002 now, so it's about 7 years ago now. And we're on Third Road, just down from the TOT office. We started off with 3 staff. There's now 12 of us altogether. We specialise in point-of-sale systems for restaurant and bars and other commercial businesses, right? So, for example, there's a very big oil and gas company in Lam Chabang called DSL. DSL outsource their IT needs to us here in Pattaya. So we have a lot of big customers, say, around Thailand, not just in Pattaya. But of course that doesn't mean to say that I'm not happy to see an expat come in, because I understand the need to talk to somebody in terms that you can understand, right? So which is why I do the expat club. It's not because you're going to come and spend a lot of money with me, it's really as a service to the community to come in and they can talk things over with me, and we can get things sorted for them as best we can. So we're on Third Road, if you're on Third Road outside the TOT office, heading towards North Pattaya, we're about 300 metres on the left-hand side.
And when I bought this dongle and initially your people installed it for me, I came in and asked if I could speak to the technician, and a young lady came down, a Thai lady, and I have to say, high-tech. It wasn't just the usual, well, I think I can plug this in here. High-tech, I must admit. She was using language that was above me.
That would be our Toy. Toy is actually my technical manager. Right, and she is exceptionally good. I mean, all my staff are competent, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't employ them. But that's the difference, right? And that's why you go to Tutcom and they'll fix something for 350 baht, right? I don't. My minimum charge is 700 baht, and it has to be, right? Because my staff do not earn salaries of 5,000 or 6,000 baht a month, right? They are salaries that you'd expect for an IT professional, right? And I hate to say you get what you pay for, but in general terms, that is the case.
Well, thank you, Steve Dickens, for coming along from Liberty Computers today. Again, if you weren't here today, you missed a good program. We have a different speaker each week. We have a different subject. It covers all sorts of things. We're here on a Sunday. The doors open 10:30 in the morning. Grand Soleil Hotel, Pattaya Second Road. Come along and see us. We and a competent speaker will be here every week to greet you.